Today we're looking at the worst country songs of the 2010s. Why are we doing a decade retrospective? Because of quarantine. Because I'm just gonna bank some evergreen content while there's not much new happening in the music world. Now I did a couple retrospectives at the end of last year. I did the biggest news stories of the decade and the most influential albums of the decade. So go check those videos out. They were linked down below if you want kind of a more comprehensive, thoughtful overview of the 2010s in country music. But today, I just made a quick list of what was the crappiest stuff I could think of from the past decade. We lived through the bro country era. We birthed the boyfriend country era.
Country music doesn't sound country anymore, so they're making up terms.
And there was just a lot of junk in the middle of it all. So I'll do the worst today, and then either tomorrow or a day after that, I will post the best stuff, which is a similarly slapdash list that I just made off the top of my head. The first song that came to mind as soon as I knew I wanted to make this list was Corn Star by Craig Morgan.
Too busy getting dirty in a field of green, she's a corn star.
This is an entire song built on the fact that corn star rhymes with porn star. And he's singing about a girl that's not going to be in Playboy magazine because she's getting dirty in a field of green. She's a corn star. And yeah, that's corny and bad and cringy, and thank goodness the song wasn't a hit. It also never really made sense to me that this would be released by Craig Morgan, the guy who's most famous for That's What I Love About Sundays.
What I love about Sunday.
And then later for The Father, My Son, and the Holy Ghost, that he has just this super dirty song. If he really needed to include corn in a title that bad, he should have called it Corn Again and made it a big inspirational anthem. In a similarly cringy area of country music, we had the song Donkey by Jared Neiman.
Gonna ride that donkey, donkey, down to the honky tonky. It's gonna get...
This song is a really weird mix of lame and dirty. It's lame because it's just rhyming donkey with honky tonky. The chorus is literally, I'm gonna ride that donkey donkey down to the honky tonky. It's gonna get funky funky. And then there's a loud for real. In a real chorus, in a real country song that was released as a single. But then there's all these references to girls riding his donkey, which is the weirdest euphemism in the world.
They all walk funny when they're done riding, you know who, yeah.
Now, if there was a blessing in disguise with Donkey, though, it's that it ended the momentum that had come from Jared Neiman recording I Could Drink to That All Night with Pitbull and becoming this horrible crossover moment that none of us needed. And then there was Friendzone by Danielle Bradbury.
Let me break it down to the facts. You will never get a girl like that.
Friendzone was meant to be a reinvention for Danielle Bradbury, who was seen as this sweet, innocent little girl that won The Voice. But it totally didn't work on any level. A, because she did not deliver it in a believable way, but B, because that song makes no freaking sense.
You think you're doing just fine, but ooh.
This song is supposed to be telling a dude that he is headed to the friend zone, but she's trying to put it in terms he'll understand, which is just sports metaphors. And in this case, the song cannot decide if it's about football or baseball. It literally switches every other line. We go from seconds on the clock, you need a touchdown, to won't see it coming, it's like a curveball. Then we've got references to the end zone and the friend zone. And then we've got this weird chorus that just says, you will never get a girl like that. You gotta step up to the plate with a bat, which is weirdly kind of violent seeming. And then it has a completely nonsensical bridge where she just says, all I need is my bass and a beat and a banjo, over and over again. What that has to do with the rest of the song, I don't know. Is it believable? No. Is it terrible? Yes. Also terrible was 90s Country by Walker Hayes.
Strawberry wine on your lips got me amazed.
This song does not work to me because it is supposed to be an ode to 90s country, and yet not one single bit of it sounds anything like 90s country. I would think you would want fun country melodies that feel like something out of a Texas honky-tonk, maybe some fiddle, maybe some Brooks and Dunn vibes, but this is like a Will Smith B-side from 1993 that got run through an Instagram filter. It's toothless and smooth and hip-hoppy, and the vocal on it is so breathy, and so lifeless.
Might be a little dust up there, but won't it taste so fine? Just like you.
And the words are just name-dropping hits. It's just a gimmick that doesn't add up to much. It's just fluff. And given how much passion there is around 90s country, I feel like someone could make an amazing 90s country tribute song. People like Midland and John Party, they're bringing back that 90s country sound, and people love it. And then I want to include 2 Tim McGraw songs, and I love Tim, but Truck Yeah is a big truck no from me.
Got a Lil Wayne popping on my iPod, thumping on the subs in the back of my crew cab.
The last thing that decade needed was another freaking song about trucks.
Don't play no songs about trucks.
A more obscure one that I think is low-key the worst thing he's ever released is Looking for That Girl, which is an auto-tuned mess of a song.
Girl, she's a sugar sweet drive-by. All my dreams in her blue jeans on my...
He had a whole renaissance after it, but Looking for That Girl was trash. And then there was Ridiculous by Haley Georgia.
You're ridiculous. The way you walk on by, giving me a high five.
Haley Georgia never really broke, but she had a major label deal, and they were definitely trying to establish her as a sort of response to Kesha, like a country version of Kesha that was kind of talk singing and greasy and didn't give an F. And they pushed this song called Ridiculous, which was supposed to be provocative because it said dick a lot.
You're ridiculous.
And that was pretty much all the song had going for it. And that gimmick could theoretically be clever. You think of a song like Miserable by Lit, where he says, you make me come, you make me complete. There's some cleverness there. This just felt taunting and stupid and juvenile. And speaking of stupid and juvenile, we gotta include Dylan Scott's
When she's loving me like this, all I can say is
This is a song that you would think was written by a 13-year-old boy that's just about craving some hot girl in camo. And she is as good as grandma's biscuits, and it makes him say, It also at one point compares her to a pie out the oven.
like a pie out the oven real hot with a little bit of whip on top.
I wonder what that's supposed to mean. Dylan Scott has a fairly extra way of performing. He likes wearing some torn up jeans and basically humping the microphone stand, and I would say that this song is a good summation of that performance style. In a much blander way, we have Yeah by Joe Nichols.
Like I was nodding right along to a song.
I hate this song, and I love Joe Nichols. I hate this song because it's so stupid. To me, it is a perfect representative of how ridiculously bland country radio became in the 2010s. The fact that a song that is just literally repeating the word yeah over and over again, with a video that is a guy standing in front of a sign that says yeah. The fact that this was made a big hit is really sad to me, because country music, I thought we were supposed to be talking about good lyrics, I thought we were supposed to be telling stories, I thought there was some interesting melody that was supposed to be here, some really beautiful musicality.
What is country music? What's the sound we like again?
And instead, we've just got yeah. And to that I say no. And speaking of saying no, let's talk about Said No One Ever by Jana Kramer.
To be rich, said no one ever. Oh, I love politics, said no one ever.
This is a song that had its heart in the right place and was trying to get in on the meme of Said No One Ever. And it comes from songwriters that I actually really like, but I just think it completely missed the mark and maybe felt a little cringy. Memes move too fast for country songs, I think. By the time the song came out, it was just kind of an old meme already. Jana Kramer's just listing things that people would never say and then following that with Said No One Ever, which feels really annoying and repetitive after like 2 times of hearing it. And it extinguished the momentum that Jana Kramer had after her awesome song I Got the Boy. It also featured a video where Jana Kramer is very tan, like very tan.
I don't need to be a one and only.
Very uncomfortably tan. That's all I'll say about that. Then there was Sugarland, Stuck Like Glue.
You go making me feel like a kid. Won't you do it and do it one time?
This song kicked off the 2010s with the first rap verse that nobody asked for, and Jennifer Nettles giving a really weird reggae-inflected rap.
Whoa, what you gonna do with that?
I don't feel like any of us needed to hear that sugar sticky sweet stuff.
Come on over here with that sugar sticky sweet stuff.
Oh my gosh, and now I just remembered Sugar by Jennifer Nettles. That was a weird song too, wasn't it?
Gimme some of that sugar.
Keep Jennifer Nettles and Sugar apart. And speaking of rap verses that nobody asked for, this one ending the decade, yeah, I'm gonna put Old Town Road on here because I never thought it was a country song. I do not think Lil Nas X wanted to be a country star, and I think he expertly trolled the whole system, and getting Billy Ray Cyrus to appear on it was an impressive chess move after the song was removed from the country chart. But I mean, come on, y'all. The Fix was so in with this song. The controversy was tied up with a nice little bow, and everyone took the bait when it doesn't take a genius to know this is not a country song. Listen to that beat. Country music is about simple little melodies and stories being told. This was about a big thumping beat. And yeah, it was country inspired, but like, come on. And speaking of that, Billy Ray Cyrus deserves a giant slot on this list with his atrocious song, Achy Breaky 2. Do you guys remember this? This was a collaboration with Buck 22. I guess it wasn't even really trying to be a country song, but it was just one of Billy Ray's many desperate, thirsty attempts to get back into the limelight. Rounding out this list, which happened in no particular order, is a song that I just found so annoying, and it was Keith Urban's Female. This was a song that I think had really good intentions. It was Keith Urban's response to some of the accusations that had come against Harvey Weinstein, things for which he has now been found guilty. And this song was meant to communicate reverence and respect for women in an industry that clearly hadn't always had that. But it definitely comes across as pretty try-hard. He just starts listing off every single trait that a woman could be. Soul Survivor, Holy Water, Secret Keeper, Fortune Teller, Virgin Mary, Scarlet Letter, Technicolor, River, Wild, Baby Girl, Woman, Child, Female. People are really divided on how they feel on this song, but I tend to see it as a little bit belittling, as looking at women as less than men in society, so he's gonna make this whole song that is really worshipful in its tone. And that bums me out because country music, more than almost any other genre, has such a history of tough, funny, sassy, well-spoken woman that would hear a guy saying things like this at a club and say, mm-mm. And then the fact that women don't really get played on the radio, but this became a big hit for him, just was kind of weird. It's like, oh, here's how we'll show support for women. We will play this song by a dude. I probably sound like a total jerk on this one, but there's just something a little too slick about this whole song. And I actually really resonated with Stephen Colbert's roast of this song.
Lady, woman, vagina owner, lipstick, bangs, organ donor, she person.
But anyway, those are just my opinions on some of the worst country songs of the 2010s. Guys, this is all in fun. We're having fun here, but I'd love to know what songs you think were the worst of the decade, which songs were the worst for country music, or which ones just bother you. Leave them in the comments down below, and come back soon for the best of the decade.